The Dallas Cowboys have made a bold call regarding wide receiver George Pickens, and it comes with significant implications. In a statement that has sent shockwaves through the fan base, Cowboys COO Stephen Jones confirmed that Pickens will be playing under the franchise tag in 2026, with no further negotiations for a long-term deal in sight. This decision has left many wondering about the future of a player who is expected to be a cornerstone of the receiving corps. Where are you watching from, Cowboys Nation? We want to hear your thoughts on this situation. The franchise tag comes with a hefty price tag of $27.3 million, a substantial amount that underscores the Cowboys' investment in Pickens, despite the uncertainty surrounding his reaction to this decision. As it stands, he has yet to sign the tag, which means he can opt out of off-season activities without facing any fines. This opens the door for speculation. How will Pickens respond to being tagged? Will he embrace the opportunity to prove his worth? Or could this lead to tension between him and the organization? From the Cowboys' perspective, this decision seems to stem from a desire for further evaluation of Pickens' performance, particularly given some concerns about his effort levels as last season went down. While the organization has publicly praised his talents, it is clear they want to see consistency and commitment before investing long-term. This cautious approach isn't merely about finances. It's a strategic move that reflects the complexities of player evaluations in the NFL. In the 2023 season, Pickens had a breakout year that many hoped would translate into a lucrative long-term contract. He recorded an impressive 93 receptions, racking up 1,429 yards and scoring 9 touchdowns. With those numbers, it's understandable that he would have been angling for a deal that reflects his contributions on the field. However, the Cowboys seem to be taking a wait-and-see approach, weighing the potential for future growth against the backdrop of recent questions regarding his drive and dedication. Adding fuel to the fire, the trade rumors surrounding Pickens are swirling. Could the Cowboys part ways with him if they feel he doesn't fit into their long-term vision? The uncertainty certainly raises eyebrows among fans and analysts alike. There is a palpable tension. The organization has expressed interest in retaining him, yet the looming specter of potential trades creates an unsettling atmosphere. As we delve deeper into this situation, it's essential to consider how the franchise's decisions on Pickens could affect the overall team dynamics moving forward. Will this franchise tag serve as a motivator for him to elevate his game, or will it create friction that the Cowboys will have to navigate? The coming months will be crucial not only for Pickens, but for the team's offense as a whole. Now, let's shift gears and take a closer look at another intriguing development surrounding the Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are making waves by placing wide receiver George Pickens under the franchise tag for the 2026 season, a pivotal decision that speaks volumes about their strategic approach moving forward. Chief Operating Officer Stephen Jones confirmed this decision during a pre-draft press conference, stating clearly, "We've made a decision. There won't be negotiations on a long-term deal." This announcement sets the stage for a season filled with speculation and excitement, as Pickens, just 25 years old, will earn a staggering $27.3 million guaranteed under the tag, a figure that underscores his value to the team, even if it raises eyebrows among some fans and analysts. Now, let's unpack what this means for the Cowboys and for Pickens himself. The franchise tag, for those unfamiliar, is both a blessing and a challenge. It guarantees a hefty paycheck, but it also implies that the player is not yet fully integrated into the long-term plans of the organization. For Pickens, who had a breakout season in 2025 with 93 receptions, 1,429 yards, and 9 touchdowns across 17 games, 15 of which he started. This move is both an endorsement of his talent and a signal that the team is not yet ready to commit to a multi-year contract. Jones also mentioned last week that he had not received any trade inquiries regarding Pickens. This is significant because it indicates the Cowboys' confidence in his abilities despite the lack of trade interest from other teams. Pickens, originally drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in the second round of the 2022 draft, has already made a name for himself with 267 receptions, for 1,270 receiving yards, and 21 touchdowns in just 65 games. His transition to Dallas has been impressive, but the question remains, will this franchise tag become a motivating factor for him, or will it create tension as he plays without the security of a long-term deal? Analyzing this decision further, it's worth noting that the Cowboys have chosen to exercise the franchise tag for the first time since 2022, when they placed it on tight end Dalton Schultz. This suggests a cautious approach by the front office, perhaps rooted in a desire to ensure financial flexibility while also assessing the team's future needs. For a franchise that has historically made bold moves, this conservative tactic raises eyebrows. Are the Cowboys prioritizing short-term gains over long-term stability? Fans, it's your turn to weigh in. Where are you watching from, and what are your thoughts on this franchise tag decision? Is it a wise choice for the Cowboys, or do you believe it's time for a more aggressive approach in securing their star players? With the draft approaching and the offseason in full swing, the implications of this decision will resonate throughout the organization. Pickens is undeniably talented, and there's no denying that he's been a key player for the Cowboys. However, if the Cowboys are not willing to negotiate a long-term deal, we might see a motivated player looking to prove himself, which could lead to explosive performances on the field. On the flip side, the lack of a long-term commitment could also lead to uncertainty. Will Pickens play with a chip on his shoulder, determined to showcase his worth to earn that elusive contract? Or will the pressure of the franchise tag weigh heavily on him, affecting his performance? The psychological aspect of contract talks cannot be overlooked, and it will be intriguing to see how this plays out as the season unfolds. As we prepare to dive into the next segment, one thing is clear. The Cowboys are strategically positioning themselves for the future. Whether that future includes a long-term deal for Pickens remains to be seen, but for now, the focus is on the upcoming season and how this talented wide receiver will fit into the Cowboys' plans. Let's move on to the next pivotal story for the Cowboys as they navigate this critical offseason. As we dive deeper into the Cowboys' current situation, it's clear that the clock is ticking on a long-term deal with George Pickens. Fans, where are you watching from? And what are your thoughts on the Pickens negotiations? This is a crucial moment for the franchise, and your opinions matter. The latest buzz from insiders is that the Cowboys are nowhere near finalizing an extension with their star wide receiver. According to reports, there hasn't been much dialogue about a new deal, and the team seems to be at a standstill. With Pickens currently slated for a staggering $27.3 million salary cap hit in 2026, the stakes couldn't be higher. Since arriving in Dallas last offseason via a trade with the Steelers, Pickens has emerged as a vital piece of the Cowboys' offensive puzzle. He posted career-high numbers last season: 93 catches, 1,429 receiving yards, and 9 touchdowns. Those stats not only led the Cowboys, but also placed him among the top 10 receivers in the league across all major categories. It's a remarkable feat that speaks volumes about his talent and potential. However, as the wide receiver market continues to skyrocket beyond the $40 million mark, the inevitability of the franchise tag looms large for Pickens. The Cowboys have made it clear they want to hammer out a long-term deal, but reports suggest that Pickens might be asking for more than the organization is willing to shell out at this moment. The team could be weighing their options, potentially content to let Pickens play under the franchise tag for another season, trusting that he can replicate his impressive performance. But let's be honest, that comes with its own set of risks. If Pickens maintains or even exceeds his production levels, the price tag on a franchise tag or a multi-year extension in 2027 could skyrocket. Conversely, any dip in performance could open the door to a cheaper deal down the line. But given Pickens' trajectory and the rising prices of elite wide receivers, that scenario seems unlikely. Adding another layer to this situation, the Cowboys are also contemplating the draft. With the upcoming draft weekend, the front office may look to bolster their receiving core by selecting a top prospect. There's chatter about Arizona State's Jordan Tyson, whose stock has surged following a successful workout. The Cowboys' interest in Tyson could suggest they're preparing to hedge their bets in case the negotiations with Pickens do not pan out as hoped. However, if the Cowboys truly want Tyson, they may have to use their first-round pick, currently sitting at number 12 overall, to secure him, if he even falls that far. There's also been speculation that Dallas could consider a trade into the top 10, but most analysts believe such a move would be aimed at snagging an elite defender rather than another offensive skill player. In the grand scheme of things, the Cowboys find themselves at a crossroads. The franchise's future hinges not just on the ability to sign Pickens to a long-term deal, but also on how they navigate the draft to ensure that their receiver room remains competitive. So, Cowboys fans, this is a pivotal moment. The front office is walking a tightrope, balancing the immediate needs of the team with a long-term vision. What are your thoughts? Will the Cowboys manage to keep Pickens, or should they look to the draft for fresh talent? Sound off in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for all the latest updates on your beloved Cowboys. Your insights and opinions fuel the passion of this fan base, so let's hear them.